Production scheduler Asprova automatically generates optimal production plans while considering complex production constraints, helping improve on-time delivery, reduce inventory, and enhance overall production efficiency. Overview. Within the overall business process, production plans are created based on customer orders, followed by a series of operations such as purchasing, inventory management, manufacturing, and shipping. Asprova is the system responsible for the particularly critical production planning part of this flow. By integrating with ERP and inventory management systems, it generates feasible schedules that take into account the actual capacity and constraints of the factory. First, MRP is executed based on forecast information and shipment plans to calculate the required parts and materials. Next, an optimal production schedule is created while considering equipment capacity and load balancing. Furthermore, purchasing plans and production sequences are adjusted to maximize overall factory efficiency. On the production floor, each piece of equipment has its own cycle time, for example, N seconds per unit on one machine and M seconds on another. In addition, when the production item changes, setup changes are required, and the time needed for these setups has a significant impact on the production plan. Asprova enables cycle time-based scheduling that takes into account such equipment capacities and setup times. Asprova optimizes production schedules to maximize the utilization of the bottleneck process, the step with the lowest capacity. This stabilizes the production flow and helps reduce work-in-process inventory. When lead times are shortened and inventory is reduced, there is less need to hold large amounts of capital in stock. As a result, the company's cash flow improves. Data Bridge with MC Frame. The Data Bridge is a web application that integrates MC Frame with Asprova. It automatically generates Asprova master data, order information, and inventory data from the MC Frame database. First, connect to MC Frame from the Data Bridge. Asprova's integrated master is created from the BOM and item line master in MC Frame. If cycle times are not available, they are managed in the Data Bridge's line cycle time master. In this case, the cycle times are set as follows: 30 seconds per unit for small molding machines, 45 seconds per unit for medium molding machines, 60 seconds per unit for large molding machines, 30 seconds per unit for painting machines, and 30 seconds per unit for assembly. Click the Integrated Master button, select the destination folder, and press OK. Asprova's item table is created from the Item Master and Item Detail Master in MC Frame. Click the Item Table button, select the destination folder, and press OK. Asprova's resource table is created from the Line Master in MC Frame. Click the Resource Table button, select the destination folder, and press OK. Import the integrated master, item table, and resource table into Asprova. The machine cycle times are set according to the line cycle time master in the Data Bridge: 30 seconds per unit for small molding machines, 45 seconds per unit for medium molding machines, 60 seconds per unit for large molding machines, 30 seconds per unit for painting machines, and 30 seconds per unit for assembly. Next, to create the production schedule for May 2026, the shipment plan for May and the inventory information at the end of April are required. There are shipments of 40 items on May 8th, 40 items on May 15th, and 40 items on May 22nd. This time, the data will be imported from an Excel file. Standard scheduling logic versus AI scheduling logic, Solver8. The master data, May shipment plan, and end of April inventory balances have been imported, so we will now reschedule using Asprova's standard logic. In this setup, production is scheduled in order of the nearest shipment dates, while arranging the same items together as much as possible to reduce setup changes. In the resource Gantt chart, the vertical axis represents machines and the horizontal axis represents the calendar. Based on the master data, a schedule is generated showing what to produce, in what quantity, on which machine, and at what time. In the molding process, a 30-minute setup time is applied each time the product item changes. It is also possible to create schedules that take into account limitations such as the number of molds and jigs available. Next, using the AI logic Solver8, the system presents the optimal schedule from among 300,000 iterations of an improvement algorithm. While the standard logic can reduce setup time to some extent, using the AI logic Solver8 significantly reduces the number of setups and enables the creation of a highly optimized schedule. The setup times for molding machines M002 and M003 have been significantly reduced. In production planning, prioritizing due dates increases the number of setups. On the other hand, prioritizing setup reduction can lead to delays in meeting due dates. Solver8 optimizes the schedule using an iterative improvement algorithm. By adjusting the production sequence based on the slack and due dates, it achieves a balance between meeting due dates and reducing setup changes. Schedule Viewer. Asprova is a desktop application, while Schedule Viewer is a web application designed for sharing production schedules within the company and allowing each department to input actual results individually. Export the production schedule created in Asprova as a CSV file, and then import it from the web application screen. The Gantt chart can be displayed on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, and you can also view detailed task allocations for each machine. The monthly result allows you to review daily production quantities and operating hours by machine, and you can also check detailed task allocations for each machine. It can also be downloaded in Excel format. The PSI view allows you to check daily receipt and issue quantities, as well as inventory balances, by item. It can also be downloaded in Excel format. Reschedule based on actual result. Enter changes in production quantities and delays as actual results from the schedule viewer, and then regenerate the production schedule. Apply the cutoff date, treating all plans up to that date as completed, and export the actual results. When the actual results and delays entered in Schedule Viewer are imported into Asprova, they are reflected on the Gantt chart with diagonal lines. By rescheduling again in this state, a revised schedule that incorporates the actual results is automatically generated. This concludes the overview of the production scheduling process using Asprova Solver8. Thank you for watching.